The S&P 500 has lost 3.35% in just 2 days, Thursday and Friday. However, this is not an absolute fall, because the S&P 500 was supposed to lose from 646x. This was supposed to be the all-time high for the S&P 500. This is why there is no guarantee that this fall will continue, and it is very similar to what we have seen at 6147. Because in October 2024, I mentioned that 614x will be the all-time high, and then after 4 or 5 months in February, on 19th of February, S&P 500 hit and made our all-time high at 6147 and came down. But before hitting the 6147, S&P 500 has seen, or S&P 500 has given these kind of movements. But when it tested the 614x, 6147, then there was no more recovery, and then there was the fall. This is why there is no guarantee, no confirmation that this fall will continue. And to understand this more clearly, you must understand that yesterday on Friday, the S&P 500 made a low at 6212.69. Now, on 16th of July, the low was 6201. On 7th of July, the low was 6201. 1, 2 and 3. On these 3 occasions, the S&P 500 has defended the 6200 psychological mark. And if you notice, in my first update to my Patreon community members, I mentioned that the S&P 500 is trading at the overstressed levels, and it has defended the 6200, and it will defend the 6200 today. Today means on Friday also. And then S&P 500 closed at 6238. However, the problem is the open equal to high condition in the S&P 500. This open equal to high condition, this is the problem, and this is going to trigger a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement. Now, if the S&P 500 would have opened above 6333/37 zone on Friday, then definitely it was in a condition wherein it cannot lose. Now, why this 6333/37 is important? In my previous S&P 500 weekly technical analysis also I mentioned, this is my calculated resistance zone. And on Thursday I mentioned that if the S&P 500 trades below 637x, this means it is going to test the 6333/37. Okay, this heavy support. But when it tests, then it will hold, it will sustain. This was also seen on Wednesday. On Wednesday, the low was 63336.38, and it was well within the heavy support zone. Okay, so on Wednesday it has sustained, on Thursday it has sustained. Okay, but because yesterday on Friday the open was below 6333.37, that is why we have seen more pressure, more fall. Okay, and this is the problem. However, you must understand that this problem has actually it started from Wednesday. Okay, this problem started to appear from Wednesday itself. Now, so what was the case on Wednesday? On Wednesday, it was the FOMC event. Okay, after market hours, Microsoft and Meta released the earnings, but most important was the FOMC event. So on Wednesday, okay, the high was 6396. It failed to enter into 6400 psychological. Okay, this is the range, 6400 range. Okay, but even before the open of the stock market, even though there was very heavy volatility, the FOMC event was there, market was giving very limited movement, then sudden up. So this up down movement. In my pre-market analysis on Wednesday, I mentioned that after 2 p.m. Eastern time, if the outcome of the FOMC is unfavorable, okay, and by that time SP500 is seen trading around 638x, then the max fall will be 6333/37 zone, irrespective of anything. And what we have seen on Wednesday, the fall was 6336. Okay, sustained and closed above the zone. Again, Thursday it has sustained and closed above the. In this manner, the market looks weak, and on Monday we are expecting a gap down open, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bearish movement. However, all of this will be conditional, and all of these conditions I am going to discuss in detail in this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, which is for the week of August 4th, means from August 4th, which is Monday, through August 8th, that will be Friday. So guys, before I proceed further, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire US stock market, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, let me tell you that I have divided this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis in three parts. Okay, first part is the weekly chart. I will discuss the weekly chart. Weekly chart is the only chart that is still holding the S&P 500 bullish. The trend is still bullish because of the weekly chart. Okay, I will discuss the weekly chart in detail. The second part is the daily chart. Daily chart, you can see, okay, that there is heavy pressure. However, once again, because of the lower levels, okay, lower levels are now hitting the bearish side saturation, and because of that we can expect a limited fall with good chances of recovery. That I will discuss on the daily chart. Third part is the probable movement, means I will tell you what is going to happen in the S&P 500 in the next week in detail, okay, through the conditions, what will be the bullish condition, the bearish condition, the bullish level, the bearish level, etc. Okay, these are the things. And also guys, you must understand that all of these three sections are interrelated, are interconnected. This is why it is recommended that you should watch all of these three sections in order to understand what is going to happen in the S&P 500 and in a manner to the entire US stock market in the next week. Now guys, I am going to discuss the first point of the agenda, and this is the weekly chart. Weekly chart means one candle represents 1 week, not 1 day or 1 hour. Okay, now let's first discuss the candle. If you notice, it's a very heavy bearish candle. Okay, and also the open price of this candle was 6397.69, and the high of this, the previous weekly candle, was 6395.82. so there is an absolute bearish engulfing. Okay, now this absolute bearish engulfing is indicating a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open, there will be an initial or intraday bearish movement. And also, if all goes well, then the next weekly candle will be a red candle. The next weekly candle will be a red candle. There is no guarantee that it will be a heavy candle. It may be this kind of very small candle, weekly candle, red candle, okay, or maybe heavy, means just a red candle of any kind. However, in order to confirm whether there will be a red candle 100% sure or not, okay, for this we need to check the Dow Jones, because if the Dow Jones also indicates the same, then 100% in the next week, the weekly candle, okay, it will be a red candle. So this is the candle indicating, okay, gap down or an initial or intraday bearish movement. Now let's analyze the Dow Jones, the weekly candle of the Dow Jones. This is the last weekly candle of the Dow Jones. Okay, now the most important part of this candle is the open equal to high condition on the weekly chart. This is the most important part. Okay, and also it's a very heavy bearish candle. However, there is no absolute engulfing, just like what we have seen in case of the S&P 500. So here this indicates a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open, an initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Okay, clear? Now the next weekly candle may or may not be a red, because all of these conditions are not fulfilled in the Dow Jones. This means that there is no confirmation, there is no guarantee that the next weekly candle, okay, will be a red candle or not. Okay, but what we know is that a gap down open or initial or intraday bearish movement. Now the gap down or initial or intraday bearish movement, this can even extend it to Tuesday. If the conditions persist, then definitely it can continue further towards to the Tuesday also. Okay, so this I will discuss in the last part. Okay, the probable movement. So for now it is very much clear that both of the indices on the weekly chart are saying that a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Okay, but there will be some conflict. Okay, that this conflict I will discuss in the probable movement. Okay, now let's analyze the technical indicators in order to understand if the S&P 500 is still holding 100% absolute bullish or not. But guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire stock market from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now, in terms of the technicals, the S&P 500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands, through the moving averages, through the Ichimoku cloud on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart. There is a little deviation, little change in the stochastic RSI. So, but still it is in the bull side. So S&P 500 is neutral through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart. Okay, also it is neither overbought nor saturated. Okay, no heavy divergence, nothing. So all of this indicates that the S&P 500 will be seen or considered as 90% bullish on the weekly chart, and the trend is bullish. Okay, now the Dow Jones. Well, Dow Jones is also bullish through the moving averages, through the Ichimoku cloud, through the Bollinger Bands on the weekly chart, and it is also bullish through the MACD on the weekly chart. It is, yes, it is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the weekly chart, neither overbought nor saturated, no heavy divergence. Dow Jones is 80% bullish on the weekly chart. Dow Jones is 80% bullish, S&P 500 is 90% bullish. The trend is still bullish. Okay, this means that if there comes no bad news, okay, and the good thing is that in the next week, okay, next week is empty, next week is blank, okay, in terms of data or earnings. Okay, no significant earnings, no data. The only factor in the next week will be the tariffs, otherwise there is nothing. This means that next week is a very favorable week for the stock market, for the Wall Street. Okay, other than this, the tariffs. Okay, if the tariffs are out of the picture, if there comes some more pause, okay, or some extension or something like that, then the market will be in a condition to recover, and to recover heavily back to 6,400 range. But guys, whatever is going to happen or whatever will happen, I will keep you posted, I will keep you updated through these daily precise updates which I give to my Patreon community members every day from Monday through Friday. So I give the pre-market analysis. Pre-market analysis, just like this one, okay, it is given 1 or 2 hours before the open of the stock market. Then comes the midday update. Midday update is given after 3 hours. Okay, then comes the final update. Final update is given 1 or 2 hours before the closing of the stock market. And guys, other than these, the daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, okay, every day from Monday through Friday, I also give the stock market opportunities in the premium stocks of the US stock market. Means top 30, 40 companies of the US stock market. I give 5 to 10 opportunities every week to my Patreon community members. And that's not all, because I also give the midweek update. This midweek update is actually a video technical analysis generally given every Wednesday or Thursday, and all of the levels, movement, precise levels, zones, everything is mentioned in this, the midweek update. So guys, whenever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. And guys, when you follow that link, then you will see that this is my Patreon page and this is my Patreon profile. And here you will find this button. This button says see membership options. And when you click on this button, then you will see that there are these 3 levels, level 1, level 2 and level 3. Okay, so these 2 levels are same. The only difference is the geographical location. When you subscribe to any of these 2 levels, then you will be getting all midweek update videos, daily SP500 analysis, updates, movement, levels, momentum zones, everything, stock market opportunities. And this level 3 is very special level, because whatever you are going to get here, by default you will get that here. And also there will be a one-on-one Zoom video meeting, and through this Zoom video meeting I will deliver and I will teach all of this, including the hacks, the strategies, okay, everything. So this level 3 is very special. And guys, if you notice, many people have joined my Patreon community for last many days, weeks, months, years, and they are getting these daily precise updates of the SP 500, Dow Jones and Nasdaq, and in a manner to the entire market every day from Monday through Friday. And they are very well aware of what is happening, what is going to happen, okay. And all of these are things they are getting: pre-market analysis, midday update, stock market opportunities, final update, midweek update, everything. So guys, wherever you want to join my Patreon community, I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community, and you are welcome. Now guys, I am going to discuss the second point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis, and this is the daily chart. Daily chart means one candle represents one day, not 1 week or 1 hour. One candle means one day. Okay. So now let's first discuss the candle. Well, it's a heavy bearish candle. Okay. The closing was below the moving averages, and it was also in the open equal to high condition. All of these factors indicates a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Means even if somehow there comes a gap up open, then also it will struggle and it will be coming down. Okay, now whether the fall will be limited, okay, or more, so that will depend on the levels, okay, and the conditions. Now in case of the Dow Jones, there is open equal to high condition, it closed below the moving averages, okay, and it's a good bearish candle. All of this indicates a gap down open on Monday, or irrespective of any open and initial or intraday bearish movement on Monday. Okay, so now both of the indices on the daily chart are confirming, okay, this the thing, and also on the weekly chart it is confirmed, okay, a gap down open, okay, or this is the bearishness on Monday through the weekly and the daily chart, right? So now before I discuss the technicals, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the SP 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and in a manner to the entire US stock market every day from Monday through Friday, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now in terms of the technicals, the S&P 500 is neutral through the moving averages on the daily chart. The S&P 500 is bullish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart, bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart. It is bearish through the MACD on the daily chart. It is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. Okay. Earlier it was trading in the saturation, okay, and in the overbought conditions. Okay, so that was also creating a problem for the S&P 500, but now it is out of all of these conditions. So the S&P 500 is now trading as neutral. S&P 500 is now trading as neutral on the daily chart. Neutral, but also at the same time it is still in the bull side. Means even a little recovery in the S&P 500 will help it to recover its bullish trend on the daily chart. See, the long-term trend is bullish. This is what we know. Okay, through the weekly chart I have shown you that the long-term trend is still bullish. There is no change in the long-term trend. The short-term trend can change, but still the short-term trend has not changed. It is neutral, but still it is trading in the bull side. Okay. Now here you okay, first let me cover the technical, then I will show you a slip. Okay, this is the Dow Jones. Now in case of the Dow Jones is neutral through the moving averages on the daily chart, but Dow Jones is bullish through the Ichimoku cloud on the daily chart, and the Dow Jones is bearish through the Bollinger Bands on the daily chart. Okay, I guess the S&P 500 was also bearish through the Bollinger Bands. Okay, because Dow Jones is also in the same. Dow Jones is bearish through the MACD on the daily chart. Dow Jones is bearish through the stochastic RSI on the daily chart. Okay, so Dow Jones is more bearish as compared to the S&P 500. Okay, but because of these the conditions in the bull side, Dow Jones is still trading as neutral on the daily chart, just like the S&P 500. Okay, neutral, and also it is in the bull side. Now this thing that I wanted to show you is the slip. Okay, a bearish slip. If you notice, okay, this is the S&P 500. What happened here? Slip, bearish slip. Okay, it happened on Tuesday. Okay, and I mentioned this the same thing to my Patreon community members on Tuesday, that now it is forming a bearish slip. Okay, it is not clearly visible in the S&P 500, but it is clearly visible in the Dow Jones. Okay, because Dow Jones, if you notice the MACD of the Dow Jones, okay, now you can see, okay, clear visible bearish slip. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, it was clear, very much clear, okay, that there is a bearish slip. And those who are new to my channel, okay, let me tell you that whenever a bearish slip is formed or a bullish slip is formed, then in that case the movement is seen in that direction. Bearish slip means bearish movement, bullish slip means bullish movement, and whenever the slips are there, then the movements are heavy. Okay, 1%, 2%, this kind of heavy movements are seen. So now that the condition is that it is neutral, both of the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones both are neutral on the daily chart, does that means that the market is now, it is gone, okay, it is going bearish, there will be heavy fall? No, because the long term trend is still bullish, and we must not forget that. Okay, secondly, there is still some good scope, okay, for the recovery. Okay, so this I will discuss in the next point. But guys, before that, I have this important information to share with you. This is my S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. Means whatever I know, whatever I have learned, okay, my research, my knowledge, okay, I will share with you through this, the S&P 500 knowledge transfer program. I will teach you, I will tell you the basics, the advanced of the stock markets, okay, the technical indicators that I use, and I modified my technical indicators. I will share the values of these technical indicators with you. I will help you set up your charts. I will tell you, I will teach you the trading strategies. Although you may find these trading strategies anywhere, but the way I will tell you, I will teach you, it will be entirely different. Okay, that is why the trading strategies, okay, that I will discuss, these have very high accuracy. Okay, then market analysis, how to analyze the market, how to understand the market is bullish, bearish, okay, and how to analyze the data, the news, okay, these are things. Then the market manipulation, how to analyze or how to understand that the market is manipulated, and how to convert the manipulation traps into opportunities. Then the support and resistance levels, okay, the price prediction, how to predict the price. Okay, so like in October 2024, I have predicted 614x will be the all-time high. This kind of, price prediction. Then the trend analysis, how to analyze the trends, okay, and everything. And the hacks. These hacks are very, very accurate, and their accuracy is so high that I use these hacks in my everyday predictions, okay, that I share with my Patreon community members. Then there are some these the terms and conditions, okay, then there are the snapshots of the meetings. So guys, whenever you want to participate in this program, or if you have any question that you want to ask, okay, then this is my email address. You can simply send me an email. And also I have given the link to this Google spreadsheet in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now guys, I am going to discuss the third and the last point of the agenda of this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis. And here I will give you the probable movement. Probable movement means what is expected to happen in the S&P 500, Dow Jones, okay, Nasdaq, and in a manner to the entire market in the next week. So first thing first, next week is blank. Okay, blank means there is no significant data or earnings, okay, in the next week. Because of the absence of the data and the earnings, the market, the S&P 500, okay, and it means the Wall Street, okay, the stock market, it should go bullish, it should trade bullish. Okay, the only fear here is the tariffs. Okay, because now the president is saying, okay, everything he's bringing something new and saying something new, okay, just like what he used to say or he used to mention in the month of April. And then we have seen a very heavy fall, 20%, okay, fall in the S&P 500, okay, 17 to 20% fall. However, if there comes nothing from the president, okay, regarding the tariffs, okay, or these are things, okay, in that case, bullish. In that case, there is no reason why the market should come down. Okay, earlier there were technical reasons. What were the technical reasons? That it was saturated, it was overbought, the divergence was very heavy. So technical reasons were there that it can come down, but not this kind of heavy fall, just limited fall, okay, like this much fall was sufficient, okay. But now this is there. So now in terms of the numbers, but guys, before that, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And so far, if you have liked this video, then hit like to appreciate, and your appreciation matters a lot. And if you want to get these daily precise updates of the S&P 500, Dow Jones, and in a manner to the entire stock market, then you can join my Patreon community. I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. Now, in terms of the numbers, what we know is that S&P 500 was defending 6,200. Okay, on these three occasions, it has defended 6,200. Okay. Closing on Friday was a little conflicted because this closing supports the fall, but at the same time, it also supports the reversal, good or heavy reversal. Okay. For all of this to happen, 6,200 will be very, very decisive, because if there comes an open, if the open of the S&P 500 on Monday is above 6,200 psychological mark, then in that case there will be more bearishness in the market. But that more bearishness does not mean that it will give up like 2 or 3% within a day. Okay, it will simply remain bullish, it will trade bullish. There will be some good chances, there will be some limited chances for the recovery, otherwise it will remain like this, okay, in this the bearish condition. And also we must understand, okay, we must understand that if the S&P 500 after giving an open below 6,200 recovers within 1 hour, in that case also the bearishness, the bearish side will be limited, because in that case again it will be seen or considered as that the S&P 500 has defended the 6,200. Or if the hourly closings, okay, and then the daily closings are seen above 6,200, means again and again the S&P 500 is defending the 6,200. And as long as the S&P 500 is defending the 6,200, is holding, sustaining and closing above the 6,200 psychological mark, it will be in a condition to test 6299. Okay, 6299 is my calculated level. Okay, after 6299 it will be 6333/37. Well, 6333/37 is basically a barrier between 6,200, 62XX and 6,400. However, a sustained movement, okay, above the 6,200 clearly means 6,299. Okay, then 6,299 will decide or will tell us whether the 6333/37 can come into the picture or not. Okay, because if it is sustaining or holding above 6,299 but is failing to clear and sustain above 6333/37, in that case there will be no more bullish movement. The bullish movement will remain limited and restricted to this, the zone, okay, then, and it will trade in between these two for some time, for 1 day or for 2 days, and then eventually it will decide, okay, whether to break this, the zone, okay, to move up or simply to lose. A sustained movement above 6,200 means that yes, easily it can try for 626x. Okay, then there must come closings above 6,200. This is the 626x, then only 6299 will come into the picture. Okay, and closings above 6299 means this zone, and closings above this zone means back to 6,400 range. Okay, so in this manner it is going to work in the bull side. And also because if you notice, the moving average is also it will be around, okay, as of now it is trading in the 6,300 range, but this moving average, okay, it will be around 6,300 or 6,299. This means that 6,299 will be very heavy on Monday and Tuesday, on these 2 days. So in this case, the 6,299 is the most ideal recovery level. S&P 500 is allowed and it can recover to 6,299. The 6,333/37, okay, it might take some time, but a recovery to this will happen without any problem, provided the S&P 500 is holding, sustaining and closing above 6,200. Okay, that is the only and the only condition. The 626x will be there in between these two, okay, and based on the conditions, the closings at 626x, the 6,299 will come into the picture, or it will not come into the picture, it will be coming down, okay. But what we know is that, let's say the S&P 500 moves up, okay, and tests the 6,333/37 and fails. Closings are seen below 6,333/37. And guys, once again, this 6,333/37 zone is my calculated zone, okay, and it is, and also the 6,299. Okay, this 6,200 is the psychological level. It is not my calculated level. My calculated level is in 621x. Okay, and yesterday you can see that it was sustaining. The low was 6,212. Okay, but it is not my calculated level. My calculated level is in this the same range. Okay, it was supposed to come down and hold and then reversal. It was there. A fall from the 6,333. First of all, there will, if there comes a recovery to 6,333/37 and then there comes a fall, then that fall will be hold or will be sustained here at 626x, because first the 6,299 will waste 1 to 2 days, and then by the time it loses and comes down to 626x, okay, it would have lost the momentum. Okay, that is why it will be it will find good or heavy support here. Otherwise it will find support here, will try for 6,333/37, and once there comes the closings above this, the small zone, then 6,400 range, and then it will be moving towards 646x, which is expected to be the all-time high. Okay, the bearish side, no, before bearish side there is one more problem. The problem is in the Dow Jones. This is the Dow Jones. Problem is that the all-time high is 45,073.63 is the all-time high of the Dow Jones. Recently it moved up and it made a high at 45,016 .71. It failed to test, hit and breach the all-time high. Now if or when the when the Dow Jones moves up, okay, then it will not be looking for any intermediate resistance, although there are heavy intermediate resistance levels. It has failed earlier. Okay, and these resistance levels I have shared with my Patreon community members, the calculated resistance levels. But eventually it will be looking for 45,073, because now the entire market knows that the tariffs are there. Okay, conditions are not good. This means that whatever bullish movement or retrace is happening or will happen, okay, now this may be the last time we are going to see a bullish retrace. Then there will be all-time high and then there will be a fall. But a movement in the Dow Jones towards or to its this all-time high means S&P 500 will be moving towards 646x. It's expected all-time high. Now other than that, in the bearish side, yes, the bearish side is there again, the 6,200 psychological level. The S&P 500 was defending 6,200, and let's say there comes an open above 6,200. The open of the S&P 500 above 6,200 means by default there is the bullishness or the bullish momentum, and the S&P 500 is in a condition wherein it can hold and sustain at the 6,200. Okay, once it loses Intraday means open is above 6,200 but it loses, then hourly closings are seen below 6,200, and then the daily closings are seen below 6,200. When this happens, then again the condition of the 6,200 means weakness. More weakness will be seen in the S&P 500. What does this mean, the weakness? Okay, weakness means the previous all-time high of the S&P 500 on 19th of February was 6147.43. Then S&P 500 will be compelled to come down to 6147.43, or there is a small zone, very small zone, okay, just around, because my calculated resistance level is also around this, the all-time high. Okay, so there is a very small zone, 614x my level /47. Okay, so this, the zone, any fall will be handled, okay, by or at this zone, because losing 6,200 means simply means this one, okay, that this will be there, right? However, this is not the full, okay, this is the complete picture, because this small zone, okay, or this zone at 614x will be able to hold the S&P 500 not for more than 1 day, not for more than 1 day. This means that there will be very high probability that the S&P 500 will lose the 6,100 mark, though it will struggle, it will show hesitation, it can it can spend 1 more day, okay, in doing so. But whenever it loses the 6,100, just like 6,200, the closings are seen below 6,100, okay, then the final and the last price will be 604x, then it will be coming down to 604x. Okay, so the bearish side will be, the worst case scenario is this, okay, and the best case scenario is the 646x, where we are expecting or anticipating, okay, a new all-time high for the S&P 500. But again, at the same time, we must not forget about the Dow Jones, because if the Dow Jones moves up, in that case all the bearish side movement or the sentiments, okay, will be limited, will be restricted in the entire US stock market, and this is very much clear. This means that everything now depends on the 6,200, at least on Monday and Tuesday. The 6,200 will be very significant, and it will weigh heavily on the S&P 500 and also on the entire US stock market, the 6,200. However, if you are my Patreon community member, then you need not to worry about anything, because through the pre-market analysis, midday update, final update, okay, I will keep you posted, I will keep you informed, and you can make changes to your trades accordingly. And guys, if you have not yet joined my Patreon community, then I have given the link in the description of the video and also in the comment section. You can follow that link and you can join my Patreon community. So guys, hit like if you have liked this S&P 500 weekly technical analysis to show your appreciation, and your appreciation matters a lot. And guys, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. And also guys, if you have any questions that you want to ask, then you can ask your question through the comment section.